And hello, everyone. Welcome back to FPL in the trenches. In the trenches is the actual word. I missed the on that one. It's the Frontline Prediction League. Frontline League on Twitter still exists. Frontline League is the Frontline Prediction League's Twitter home. We are also on YouTube on this very channel, Frontline Prediction League. I'm repeating myself, but whatever, it's fine. My name's Scott. I'm your co-host here, along with BeerMe Jesus. How are you, BeerMe?
I'm doing all right. I fell down last night and scraped both my knees. But other than that, I'm doing all right. How about yourself, Scott?
If you recall, a couple weeks ago, I fell up the stairs and also scraped up one knee, and a little below that was the shin. So it's the Trencher special of beating up your knees. I don't know what that is. It's been a couple weeks, and mine's still sore. The right knee still hurts because, I basically knee dropped metal. I kind of V-triggered it, actually, because I was running upstairs and, did that. You just did it like a knee drop, right? You just nothing fancy. You just went down.
I assume so. I don't know. That tells it.
Even better. Even better.
Yeah.
But this is the weekend of Survivor Series WarGames coming up this weekend. It was Full Gear last weekend. We are going to be covering the results of Full Gear and going through the rest of the card with our prediction picks for Survivor Series, which does sound insane that it's this weekend, BeerMe, but it is. That's because it's Thursday. For Americans, it's Thanksgiving. But for Canadians like me, it's Thursday. Happy Thursday, everybody. I hope you enjoy your special Thursday, all you Americans down there. BeerMe, you're American. You can say properly about American Thanksgiving, though.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you all had a happy Thanksgiving and a good one.
Yeah, we had ours a month ago. I almost said a week ago. It was like 4 weeks ago. Ours was October, like third week of October. I forget the one it is exactly, but we had ours already. I hope everybody down in America land has a good one. Everybody international, hope your Thursday is good like mine, and we'll treat it like that. So there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always good. And I mean, the idea of Thanksgiving, I know, yes, the craziness. This is a tangent and a half. It's like, oh, what's there to be thankful for? America did this, did all these bad things, blah, blah, blah. You take what you can from it. It's about being thankful with your family now. You're just able to treat people right. I hope that everybody is able to do that around the world, and just everybody's having a good time as best they can, because that's part of what the FPL is. This got weird and meta and deep, but we're just here to have fun, and that's the goal of this. So have fun with it. If it's Thursday, if it's Friday, whenever you watch this, if it's Saturday, your deadline's today. More on that in a bit. But just have fun. It's all good. It's all in good fun. So let's dive into the fun we had last weekend, BeerMe. That was at FPL Full Gear, our first AEW main show. It was like a 13-match card, right? They went down from before, but we only had 10 when the picks went out. And yes, as everybody saw, the Eliminator tournament got pulled out officially beforehand, so we did pull that one out, and it went down from 11 to 10. And yeah, we have our results. And we do have, if I can find my screen here, I have a ring light that I literally put in front of my toolbar to see the other windows, so that's the thing. We have the FPL World Championship, Broken Nerd defending against Chef Urban and losing after a 2-week reign with new FPL World Champion, Urban. So remember how this went. Urban won a triple threat with second place going to, Nerd won a triple threat with second place going to Urban. Nerd won. Urban got the next shot. So Urban got a shot and 2 weeks ago beat CT to win the FPL title. 2 weeks later, Urban got the shot against whomever would have won that, and now he's won it. So we've had 3 champions in 2 weeks. And I've said it before, I love this kind of stuff when you have a top of the card. It's a cheap plug for our podcast. Find it on Spotify, iTunes, all that stuff. When the top of the card is busy. I like that. I know some people might look at it like the title's bouncing around. It weakens it. No. It just means that CT and Nerd and Urban are all good and at that top level. I love that stuff. I love that. That's how I always view it, at least. And that's how we write it. And to be fair, I haven't written a world title match in a while. That's been CT's department because he's got his own matches and he's been writing it. So he treats it the same way. He's been treating this thing like this is not like, Nerd only had it for 2 weeks. He sucks. No, he had it for 2 weeks. And now Urban is just as good, and he's got it. So I love that stuff. I'm very happy for it. I'm not happy that Nerd got a 2-week reign. Don't get me wrong. But I love the fact that here we go, new champion. Now what happens? Like this, I don't think anybody predicted we'd have 2 new champions in the latter quarter of 2022. Like, I mean, we kind of did predict it, but would it actually happen? Heck no. That's insane. Right. That's crazy to think of. But that's part of with FPL making Full Gear a main show. We want it to be a big one for the first one to really get the world title on there and get stuff going, especially when we figured Survivor Series would have no title defense on it. Now we have a deadline show. December 10th would be the next possible defense. It's at least going to be 2 weeks out, right? 3 weeks. So it'll be longer than Nerd's reign, but I digress on that. But yeah, Urban is our new world champion. And BeerMe, think back to earlier this year when Chef Urban was going after the Canadian title and almost got it and then dumped out of the tournament in the first round. We've been kind of calling for this for a while to see him do this. So it's pretty awesome to see now, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And you were right by picking Urban. Congratulations to him.
Now, it is still weird to see Broken Nerd not world champion after 2 weeks, isn't it?
Or just champ in general, because like he's been champ for so long. So you know what I mean?
He did. It is a thing where he's one of only a couple that have the world title and the American. He and Costner have both done that. So there's my line. It's interesting to see that following suit. So who knows where this goes from here? Like clearly he's in the world title division. Like he's in the world title picture going forward. But does he get another shot or who's next? Like who is next? Presumably someone's in line. I say that because I keep forgetting to be completely honest. But next in line is coming up, and we're going to see what happens at Survivor Series and go on from there. So. Congratulations to Chef Urban, the new world champion. Yeah, people are going to be gunning for him. And it was close. It was only 3 points. One bonus could have done it. I think, no, 2. They were all 2-pointers. But that's all it takes on a big card, too. So, fun stuff. Next up, we have the finale, the final of the FPL 2022 Tag Team Tournament. This was looking like a draw for a good long portion of the show, and we were definitely worried about that. We were talking backstage. I say that way, like, we have our own chat for the booking stuff. Normally when there's a draw in the tournament, both parties advance. But this was the final. And we were somewhat looking at, does both of them get it? Do we have a triple threat? Or my personal opinion was, if it's a no contest, if it's a draw, there's no winner. Therefore, nobody won the tournament. So we were having that discussion going, what do we do? Especially BeerMe, considering you and the GMSG, if you retain, will defend against the winner of this tournament. So, like, what would happen? Well, thankfully, it wasn't a draw. Just to get that out there, we were happy for that. And the MBPA, Alexander McKennedy and Dion Blade, did defeat Shades and Smiles, CJ Hawk and Lexi Briggs. My pick, they're on the table. They did not. The MBPA, the team that started off, not even a team in this tournament. They got their name in round 2. And here they are. They won the whole thing. And I think you were picking them, if I remember correctly, so that's interesting.
Yep.
McKennedy, former American champion, still the longest reigning, if I do remember correctly. And Dion Blade, someone who challenged for it a couple times, against him. They are now the number 1 contenders for the FPL Continental Tag Team Championship, which is held by you guys at deadline. How do you feel about that, BeerMe? About this team? Now that the team you picked have won, and you've got to defend against them.
It's going to be a tough match, but I think we're ready. So.
Okay, I like it.
And congratulations to them for winning the tournament.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, they kind of did everything right. It's good to see McKennedy back on a run like this, literally winning 3 tag matches in a row that were important like that. And to see Blade along with that, it's really, really cool to see that team doing that. And to beat Shades and Smiles in the finale is just the icing on the cake, right? Like we said it. That was the team to beat. That first round with Match of the Night and Shades and Smiles, those were the 2 favorites, and one of them would be out. And the other team made it to the final, but didn't do it. It's pretty great to see. I love stuff like that. I love it. And you know it's not the last of Shades and Smiles. Like you got to think there's going to be a rematch. We haven't seen the last of this either. So, but next up, it is the FPL American Championship. Ash, with his first defense, almost lost it in 2 weeks like we had the world title. Except he retained in this ambulance hardcore match over Bastion. Bastion was, I said, the favorite to go into that, absolutely. But I did say if anybody's going to win over Bastion now, it's Ash. This is the time. And he frickin' did. I mean, Bastion's your boy. How do you feel about this one, BeerMe? I know you're happy for Ash, but it's got to sting, right?
Yeah, it was a roller coaster of emotions that night because the Elite lost. So I was like, well, boys, I think we've all pretty much lost. Well, except for GMSG, because Ray Russell picked Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. But for me and Bastion, we're like, all right, it's over. And then all of a sudden, Samoa Joe came up clutch. And I was like, all right, we're back in it. And all we had to do was have Tony Storm win, and Bastion probably would have tied.
Oh.
But then I seen CT's top lock was Tony Storm, and I knew we were in trouble. So, yeah, that happened. Tony Storm lost. Jamie Hayter's your new champion. Didn't see that coming. I didn't see the Elite losing. I didn't even see Wardlow losing. I just put on him. But
I could have seen like Hobbs winning it, to shake things up a little bit, and like Joe be the reason for it, and then Wardlow gets it back later. Like that's a common thing you can see for that kind of thing. But I mean, Samoa Joe's the king of television now, so.
And I mean, 2 out of, like Meatloaf said, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. But I mean,
you wanted to have all 3 of those belts.
Me and James G both said we would have gave up our matches if he would have won. You know what I mean? Like we wanted him to win more than we wanted to win.
Well, because he was going for the title. He was going for something he hadn't had yet. He was going after a title that, you guys have belts and he doesn't. And that's been the story since the summer. He's been going after a belt and he's not gotten it. So that is amazing that it's happened that way. And I mean that in the sense, like, if I were writing it, I would have written it that way. Because this is a guy who'd been in storylines going after titles and now he's a bad guy. And it's like, goddamn, him again? Going for titles? No. But he's not getting them. That's awesome. That's a good way to do it. Like, Seth Rollins, unironically, had a kind of a storyline like that, right? So
yeah,
it's kind of funny that's happening. Like, that's how you write that.
He'll get one eventually, though. I mean, he's going to win like 4 or 5 more in a row and then be right back there again because that's what he does. So
we've had a few that.
I have all the faith in the world in my boy to bounce back. So
small hiccup in the road. He'll be fine. The FPL Canadian Championship was also retained. Watson Rules match, Sebastian Escobar did retain over Modstep. I didn't mention Ash beat Bastion by 4 points. Escobar beat Modstep by 2, 48-46. This was damn close. This was one bonus. But he won. But also...
How many points?
2.
Yep.
2. Oh, see. Yep. Escobar, that was BeerMe on that one. That was him.
Hey.
But I'm laughing at it.
2 defenses.
He did.
You know.
And Modstep again, so close.
So close, man.
So goddamn close. But, no, he retained it. And I keep saying it, he just got to get to Montreal. Just keep doing it. And realistically, there's maybe like 2 more defenses. Maybe, because like the Rumble probably, and then that gets you to February. So maybe he's only got 1 more. I don't know, but keep that title, Escobar. I'm working on it. We'll see. I just, for full disclosure, I don't book myself if I'm going after a title. I just say, here's my intentions, and I let it go. So that's where I'm at. We'll see what happens. I have no say in what my matches are right now. I'll chime in and be like, that sounds cool, or not, like, after the fact, but I don't have any say in it, just for that thing. And most of us in the booking are that way. Like, we don't try to be like, I want this match to make it look like we'll get an easy win. No, I want hard matches. I want it in that sense. But here, if I'm going after a title, I'm not involved in it. Same happened with the tag titles. I was never involved in who the challengers should be, because I never wanted to decide that. That's not cool. That's conflict of interest. We don't operate that way. So, not that anybody really does, but we just don't. Categorically, we don't do it. However, BeerMe, not however to that, but you did win, which meant that Red lost, and so did CT. It was the WarGames Advantage match. BeerMe Jesus beating Red and Jonathan CT Martin 47-38-37. You kind of ran away with that one a little bit. You said you were losing for a while and then turned things around. You won by 9 points, man.
No, but it wasn't looking good early on because like the Elite lost and I put 8 on that. Everybody else put like low.
Gotcha.
So I was like, I'm screwed unless Wardlow loses, and I lost it in chat because like I was ahead of everybody, and Wardlow gave like Hobbs like 3 power bombs. So I was like, oh my god! And Joe's still out there. I was like, okay, he's obviously Joe's gassed or done or something. And nope, he came in and hit him with the title and choked out.
Yeah, I heard you started laughing this uncontrollably.
I did.
Yeah,
I did, and then I was like, well, and then like I started looking at like the the things, and I was like, well, if Tony wins, I have to win out because like if I had MJF win, I would have beat CT by a point. But Tony ended up losing. So once she lost, it was I pretty much won at that point. So, but yeah, but advantage FBU, you know. How do you feel about that, Scott?
Not thrilled. Kind of worried about that. You guys don't need the advantage, and you've got it, so that's worrying. Yeah. I just gotta win. That's,
You just gotta do something we've never done. Beat GMC.
And you have advantage. Oh God, that's the time to do it, though. Time to do it. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. More on that in a moment because we're getting to Survivor Series next. But we got to finish this out first. We got Ralantando defeating Static 50-22. Kind of crushed it. Kind of crushed that one. Not much to say about that, but he kind of wrecked him and wrecked him good. Everybody banned from ringside. The GMSG did defeat Rate Wrestle fair and square, 47-41. Falls Count Anywhere hardcore match. JJ Rocky beat Captain Krulix Blackwell 43-37. And then we had our two Pick Your Poison matches. We started with myself and Luke Gray, and I won 44-40. It was close. Just real close. But yeah, I beat him. And main show win. I'll take it. And that was picked by Costner because Costner said, if you're part of Antidote, you have to help take out our enemies, and this is one of them. So that was what that was. Luke picked JD Onio, Josh Onio, the old name, sorry, to face Costner. And he won. So both Pick Your Poison people won. JD beat Costner 52-49. Again, very close. It's about the same distance between both, but those guys did outscore both of us, so there you go. But his pick was, I want to see someone like one of your greatest rivalries happen again. Because remember, they had the best rematch ever back at the Rumble and again for the American title. So this is a feud that will not die. But it doesn't like stay prevalent. It just comes back with Dionio and Costner. But yeah, we won. So yeah, JD and I, we won. I'll take it. Non-title. The Arbiter did defeat FPL European Grand Prix champion James Blake. Monkey Bong beat El Cid. By the way, Arbiter beat Blake by a point. So there's the main show. He could be looking at potential future contendership. And by the way, this was originally going to be Blake and Black, but Black is out. He is not here currently, so stepped aside. We have Arbiter stepping in and getting the win. So very, very, very interesting there. Again, Monkey Bong beat El Cid. Bane the Bissa beat J-Mac. The Midnight Rider beat Smooth Rock. Sherf Dog beat the Alpha Dog. I didn't realize we had dog versus dog. That's funny. Mark Harper beat Chappers. CM Carlito beat Mr. Glee and Wookie. X beat Jace of Blades by a point. Jace getting so close there. Tino beat the Gaffer. The Light of the Cult, Danny Light Jordison and Kurt Cult, defeated the Strays 85-61. Danny and Kurt got a win over the Strays. That's a couple in a row for the Light of the Cult. This team has turned it around. And
it's good to see.
That's what we want. We want to see that. That's great. And then Murmurs defeated Papa Snooch 24-13. We got some achievements. We got Tryout. El Cid got his 5th FPL match. Arbiter, Jace, and JJ got their 50th. BeerMe, you got a triple threat win. You hadn't done that yet. JJ also won a hardcore match. McKennedy and Blade won an official tournament. Chef Urban won a championship, and he won the FPL championship, the world title, so he got both of those achievements. And Ash got a successful retention by retaining the American title. And yeah, so the full write-up is in here, guys. Like I said before, CT does his parts. I do mine. Red writes as well. We put a lot of this into here. A lot of it was pre-written, and I'll say that by like weeks. And a lot of Survivor Series is already written. Just because we're getting ahead, we want to get out there and get these out as soon as we can. Still, it's like a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday situation type thing. But it is there for you. It is here to go read. Again, go through the links down below on this YouTube video. You get to our Discord channel. Go down to the results page, and you get to see this and see all the results, including the stuff with myself and Luke and the video that Costner put before it, the typed video, that is. Costner's match as well, and the rest of everything that happened on here. The craziness of all the matches, Ralantando with his mystery opponent, the triple threats that happened, one for WarGames Advantage, and the other just in general. We also had a video package spotlighting Ultimate X. That will return at Final Battle. Keep an eye out for that. That usually is a bit of an elevator that we do to have some guys kind of looking to break through or get back on track in high positions there, so that'll be a thing. Canadian title, American title, tag tournament finals, and of course backstage with James Black. Found out cold on the floor. So again, as I mentioned, he's out for a bit. More on that as we go. Got the world title as well. Excuse me. And then the aftermath afterwards, including everybody fighting everybody. Because, of course, next up is Survivor Series WarGames. And I say that because next up is Survivor Series WarGames. So here we go, BeerMe. It's time to talk about Survivor Series. And here we are with our official match graphic, which we decided a long time ago, which was replicating information and such from Survivor Series like 2001 is what I gave CT as the reference for what the hype video would be. Stay tuned for that. It's already done, and it'll be out in a little bit. And then this graphic will probably replicate this for next year because it's really cool design. But Survivor Series, here we go. Main event is the Antidote. And I'm horrible with names, but I've gotten real good because I did a video of this with names in it. So we have, as I double check my notes just to make sure I don't screw anything up because I always do if I just went offhand. So here we go. We got Luke Gray, CJ Hawk, Lexi Briggs, Roman Pierce, and Tino. That is Team Luke Gray. They will face the Antidote. It's James Costner. It's the FPL World Champion, Chef Urban. It's the FPL European Grand Prix Champion, James Blake. And it's the number one contenders for the tag titles, Alexander McKennedy and Dion Blade. That is some pedigree and a half there for the Antidote. Now remember, the key thing with this match, BeerMe, this is Survivor Series, this is 5-on-5, traditional rules. But if Luke wins, the Antidote will disband. If the Antidote wins, Luke joins them. That's all part of the stipulation here. That's all part of the package going into this. Do you think Luke wins it? We've been here before. Remember, last year, Luke defeated the Shrunkbusters. Team Luke Gray won. And it was like the moment of the year. Can lightning strike twice and he does it again? I think so. But world champion, European champion, possibly the next tag champions in 3 weeks, and a former world and American champion are the opposition. I can't really bet against that Antidote team. That's too good. And yeah. Hawk is former world champion. That's it. That's really it. And yes, the graphic does have Black still in it. He's been replaced, like I said, by Roman Pierce. Technically former world champion. 2 former world champions, even though he had it for like 5 minutes. Yeah. Who you got?
Yeah, I'm going to pick Team Luke as well.
You're picking Team Luke? No, I'm going Antidote. I am going Antidote.
Oh, all right.
I think Luke can overcome it. If anyone can, it's Team Luke. But that Antidote team is just too good. Like, that's. I say this as someone who lost to the Antidote last year. That's a better Antidote team than last year, and they swept us. You remember that? So, yeah, I'm picking Antidote on that one. That's yep. Well, how about this one, Bear? I mean, not that we have any favoritism here. Team CT. It is Jonathan CT Martin, former world champion. It is Smooth Rock, former Canadian champion, and it's Relantando, former number one contender for a bunch of titles, including the world. Went to a draw with the world champion while he had that belt. Versus Infinity as me. It's myself and Red, former tag champions, and it's Midnight Rider, who, with myself, also former tag team champions back in JRPL, Infinity, versus FBU, 2-time former world champion Bastion, someone who almost became American champion, and the current reigning, still, FPL Continental Tag Team Champions, the Musty Good Guys, the GMSG, and yourself, who also has advantage for this WarGames match. I presume you're picking yourself, just like I'm picking myself.
Yep.
Yeah. Again, this is WarGames. This is not Survivor Series. This is WarGames, this one. I'm worried. Full disclosure. I'm absolutely worried.
I'm a little bit too.
That's why CT's team's going to win, right? That's how it's going to go?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Exactly. Yep.
Oh, boy. Next up, another Survivor Series match. It is Final Heaven. Let me get my notes. It is Ralantando. The Symphony of Destruction. I'll go first. Symphony of Destruction. Ralantando, former Canadian champion. Pain, the first ever Royal Rumble winner, if you remember that one. Main evented our first ever WrestleMania. Josh Deonio, former American champion. JJ Rocky, the Frontline soldier. And Sheriff former tag champion. That is Symphony of Destruction. They are going to be facing against Jason Blades, Static, Atlas Kiyama, Broken Nerd, former world champion and former American champion, and Captain Crueleg's Blackwell. Not as much pedigree on that team, obviously, but that's a very good team, too. This is, again, traditional Survivor Series match. I don't bet against Ralantando often, and I'm not going to. Especially with JD on there as well, and I mean, sentimental favorite to Trench's JJ Rocky. I'm picking Symphony of Destruction. I love that name, Final Heaven, but who have you got for this one?
Same.
Symphony?
Same.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And next up, it is a Survivor Series WarGames match. So this is another 3-on-3-on-3 WarGames. I completely forget who has the advantage on this. Now that I go into it, I want to say it was the Strays won that. Crap.
I think it was.
Yeah, I think it was the Strays. So let's mention them first. It is the Strays. Michael Marsh, former tag champion, plus Supreme Rock, and Luke Harper.
Mark Harper.
Luke Harper.
Mark
Jeez.
Harper.
I have Harper written down. Literally written down. I have notes. And I have Harper written and went, Luke Harper. No, it's Mark Harper. They are teaming against the Brits, the trio of J-Mac, Papa Snooch, and the Gaffer, versus the Legends of New School is how they're being billed on this one. It is former tag champion Detrick Cyrus. It is current American champion Ash and current Canadian champion Sebastian Escobar. So the North American connection, they've got both belts here. I'm picking the Legends based on this. I see Escobar's team winning this one. Who have you got?
Same.
Yeah?
Same.
Yep.
Yep.
Even with the Strays with advantage? I think yes, but...
Yeah. It'll be close, though.
Yeah.
It'll be close. But
Okay.
I think they can pull it out.
All right. Now, the rest of the card. We do have, speaking of Canadian, the FPL Canadian Championship. We are going to have a number one contenders match. Watson rules, as always. Chappers versus Mad Elite Titan. Mad Elite getting another shot here. He's come close and then rebounded right back in for contention. And Chappers, caught it following in Modstep's footsteps here, ironically. Former tag champions as well. Who have you got on this? You think Mad Elite's going to secure this one this time? Remember, he lost to Wookiee last time for a contendership.
I pick Chappers.
Pick Chappers? I'm picking Mad Elite. I'm going with him. We've got a few question marks. We'll announce those matches shortly. And that's all we got. So, let's announce those matches right now. Heck with it. Let's go. That's what we've got left here. So, Survivor Series, BeerMe. I've got 3 matches. You've got 3 matches, I do believe.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, one of my announcements is that Roman Pierce is replacing James Black on Luke's Survivor Series team. Kind of already mentioned that one. I mentioned it with my rundown, so that's one of mine. Roman Pierce, former world champion for 5 minutes, but still happened. He did it. I haven't, so I always give him credit for that. Is replacing former European champion James Black. Black is out for now. We'll see what happens there. As always, people are welcome back, but he's out for now. So I'll announce the other match I got here, and then you can do yours. Screw it. I'm doing all of mine, BeerMe, then you do yours. Let's see how this goes.
All right.
Wookiee is going one-on-one with Danny the Light Jordison. Danny, in a couple tag wins, going back into singles battle right now against the monster Wookiee. Who you got on that? You got sentimental favorite Light? Is the Light going to defeat the monster?
I was going to say, I was just...
I stole it. I'm sorry.
Yep.
But I hope so.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to happen.
I love Wookiee.
Mm-hmm.
He's so much fun. But, I mean, the Light, I want this momentum. I want that. So, yeah, I'm picking the Light, too. He's who I'm going for. The other match I've got is the Alpha Dog, also returning, versus Theodore Dr. Zeus Geisel. Kind of another return. He's been kind of here and there of late with the tournament. He had to step out briefly, and we had Right Wrestle replacing replacing him. So, Geisel and Alpha Dog are also going to be going one-on-one. I'm kind of picking Alpha Dog just because that's historically what I do. But Geisel is the safer bet, I think. But I'm picking Alpha Dog on this. Who have you got? I said that. Alpha Dog just faced Sheriff Dog. What am I talking about? But Alpha Dog, he is back. He's back. So, but who have you got?
I'm gonna pick Geisel.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alpha Dog's been kind of on like a little skid. So
okay.
I'm gonna pick Geisel.
Okay. What matches do you have for Survivor Series?
Uh, I have. Okay, I have Mr. Glee. He'll be taking on Monkey Ball.
Ooh. I think
I'm gonna pick Monkey Ball.
I think Glee has that. You can pick a Monkey Bong.
He might. Glee might. Yeah. It's a good match. I like it.
I like it a lot. I think Glee's got that one. But Monkey Bong can easily take it. He can surprise people a lot. He has me a lot. So.
All right, and my next one I have CM Carlito. He'll be taking on the Arbiter in a Thanksgiving dinner tables hardcore match.
Oh, that should be interesting. Carlito's been on a bit of a tear, right? But so has the Arbiter. So I'm picking Arbiter on that one. I'm picking him.
Yeah?
Yeah. Who you got, Carlito or Arbiter?
I'm going to pick Carlito as well. He's been on a roll. Yeah.
Okay.
And then for my last one,
yeah,
I have Bane the Vista taking on Modstep.
Ooh, that could be a good leapfrog type thing for Bane beating Modstep, who just came off a title loss, a close one. Modstep got to win that to keep in contention, right? Got to keep that to keep your place. So that's a good one. So normally I'd pick Bane right away, but Modstep normally wins these matches. Like, he wins everything but the title. So, but I'm gonna stick with Bane. I think Bane's gonna take this one. It'll be close though. It'll be really close. Who have you got?
I want to pick Modstep.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna get back on track.
it won't take him long, right? It won't take long, so I can see that. But there you go. That is the Survivor Series card. And as always, guys, if you put your picks in, if you didn't hear your name on these, put your picks in. You will have a match on Survivor Series. It is a main show, as always, so those ones do matter for us. And the picks page is live right now, so you can go in there now and put in your picks. Now, the thing to keep in mind here is we are going based on who's in these matches. These being Survivor Series matches, I will mention a few things specifically. The WarGames matches, they're 5-on-5, and there's 2 of them. If anybody's replaced in these matches, the match is thrown out. So if for some reason Ridge Holland is injured and they're like, replacing him will be Seth Rollins, the match is thrown out. Right? It is same as any other match. If a participant's pulled out, the match is thrown out because the match has changed. If it happens before the deadline, which is 6 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, it's just gone. If it happens afterwards, the points are just erased. Like, you can't get a perfect card anymore, unfortunately. It's pretty much it. So keep that in mind for that part. The difference with the women's, though, is we don't know who the person is for the women. They are officially announcing that on Friday on SmackDown, and our picks page is already up. So just to put it out there, you may as well wait till after Friday's SmackDown so you know who the 5th person is. That one, funny enough, that one could change 5 times who that 5th person is. Won't matter because it's question mark. Right? Keep that in mind. And yes, we have written down Mishin, even though it's Mia Yim. It's Michin. You know who it is. Yeah, that's her. It's her. So keep that in mind with that one. We have, of course, no contest for these because they might get thrown out, even though I've never seen a double DQ on a Survivor Series. Normally, like, a whole team gets eliminated and something happens there, but that's the closest. But either way, that's that one. So pick your picks on that. You got the women's title for SmackDown, Ronda versus Shotzi. You got Rollins, Theory, and Lashley. I have been thinking, I'll just put this out there to go low on that one because I got a weird feeling they're going to add Ali to it and make it a 4-way. That means we throw it out. That's the thing to keep in mind with this kind of stuff. Keep that in mind. That's the kind of mentality you want to have with these because he's in that storyline, but he's not in the match. What's going on? AJ versus Finn, and then that's it. Not a lot of matches. There's not a lot, so that's all we're running with. So we got a lot of bonuses. Who scores the fall in the women's WarGames? Who takes the fall in the men's? Who will enter the men's match 7th? Now, there's a funny thing that happened in 2020 where it was LWPL did a WarGames, and it was supposed to be, like, I think Candice was supposed to be the person in WarGames, but got delayed, and then attacked EO, and then EO went in instead, and someone, like, the order flipped, but they officially had the person out of order based on their entry and advantage, but they were officially in, so that's how it went. Keep that in mind. That's how this stuff works. It's when they're actually in the cage in the match that they're in, and that's what this is. Women's 4th, men's 7th. That's the fun stuff there. Will Dominic physically get involved by touching Styles, Balor, and or the referee during AJ versus Finn? Considering he and Rhea just attacked Ray at home for Thanksgiving, you never know what can happen. Will there be any blood spilled during the SmackDown Women's title match? Who will take the fall in the U.S. title match? And how will AJ versus Finn end? So please put your picks in for those guys. The deadline is, again, Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern, because the show is 8 p.m., as you can see there. And the kickoff is at 7. 6 o'clock is the deadline. Again, you can wait till after Friday, or at least wait till you know who that 5th person is. It makes all the sense in the world. Probably when you're watching this one, you'll know. So there you go. Unless you watch it tonight, which thanks again for that, as always. And that's it. That is leading us into, obviously, Final Battle and Deadline, the last 2 shows of the year for the FPL, both on December 10th. It is a double shot show. It's going to be crazy, going to be hectic, but this is some big fun stuff. Going to be a hell of a lot of fun. I, as of right now, will unfortunately not be there in our voice chat on Saturday. I normally do head out on Saturdays, which makes these tough. But if things change, I will be there. But the guys will be involved in our voice chat on Saturday. That's through our Discord as well. It is top of the card in Frontline Discord. Check that out. And I usually jump in for the main event and lose my mind, as always. It's super fun. There is our live event in there right now, probably talking about Impact tonight, the Thanksgiving special stuff they're doing. That's in there, plus character chat, which I got to do a promo for, and a lot of stuff in there in our Discord. So please, please, please go check that stuff out. It is super fun. We like everybody in there participating in it. It's a lot of fun. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that, BeerMe. It is Survivor Series WarGames weekend. It is going to be a crazy time. I hope everybody is ready for it. And again, I'll throw it to you for the Thanksgiving part because it's Thursday for me. But I hope everybody has a good Thanksgiving. Anything last you want to say to that?
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and I hope you all had a good one. And good luck to everybody at Survivor Series. And we'll see you next week.
Yep. Next week will be the recap of this, and then building towards the eventual December 10th double shot, and then that's the year. We're going to look at our countdown. We'll have another medal ceremony for the best of the year, and if you want to hear the other stuff on wrestling, it is Top of the Card pod on Spotify, on iTunes, on Google Play, on all that stuff. That's our actual wrestling podcast about the actual things in wrestling, the real stuff that's happening. 5 of us talk about that stuff there, too, so check that out also. It is super fun. We appreciate all that. For BeerMe again, thanks to everybody. As I stumble this to the very end, have a good night.